Hey, it's Joe Crump. Welcome to the next video here. This question is from Wayne Malcolm. He's from Lockport, New York. Joe, when buying properties subject to, how do you deal with the new insurance policy, escrow deposits, and interest expense? I have no problem getting properties signed over, but I'm concerned with how to document expenses. Now, this is a pretty important part of the process. Most people have a hard time getting started, so congratulations, first of all, getting this process going. I'm glad that you're able to get these things signed over to you. It doesn't take much as soon as you learn how to talk to sellers and know how to go after the right group of sellers. There's so many people out there, so many free leads with FSBOs, expireds, for rent. There's so many different websites with these people that are advertising, desperate to sell their home. They can't sell them on the MLS. They don't have enough money. They don't have enough equity. They need to get rid of their properties, but they're still current on their payments, and they'll actually make the next payment for you. Or the next 2 or 3 payments for you. Many of them that are late on their payments, they can still bring the payment current. Some of them that have a lot of equity in the properties, they'll go and refinance the property and then sell it to you. So there's a lot, and they can pull their equity out that way. So there's lots of different ways to do this. We've got some really good structures to make this happen, whether it's subject to multi-mortgage, land contract, contract for deed, or lease option. And it's in that hierarchy, by the way. Subject to is the best way to buy. Lease option is the worst way to buy. And then when you're selling, that hierarchy reverses, so you sell on a lease option and the reason this hierarchy is as it is because of the control that you have over the property. When you take it subject to, you've got the deed to the property. When you're buying it lease option, you're only a tenant with an option. So your position, your ownership position, is much weaker, and the seller has more power over you. Okay, so what to do with the property that you bought subject to? You're taking the deed subject to the existing loan. All they're doing is deeding you the property. There's an existing mortgage on that property. You're not qualifying for that mortgage, but you're going to be making the payments for that person. The seller is still responsible for those payments, and they're still deeding it to you because they see the value of you taking over the property. And we're doing this all the time. This is a very easy, very doable process, especially right now in this market. It was working for us great in the boom market, but right now in this down market, God, it's amazing. It's a perfect storm for this process. So when you take this property, they've deeded you the property. Now it's got an existing insurance policy on it, and you want to. What I suggest is that you can either leave that one on there and make yourself additionally insured. Or if you do it like I do, I like to have all my insurance policies by the same insurance agent. And I'm going to get a landlord policy, which is different than a homeowner's policy. A landlord policy is cheaper. And there's some other issues depending on whether you're an LLC or you own it privately, and depending on how many properties you can buy and how much insurance you can get, if your insurance guy really knows what he's doing. But anyway, let your insurance guy deal with that. What you want to do is get a new policy, and you want to have the seller of that property write a letter to the mortgage company that says, I'm going to cancel this policy and I'm going to bring in this new company, and you name which companies they are. Please refund or please cancel this one policy. That existing policy on there will then refund the balance of what's left in there for their annual payment. They'll send it typically to the seller. So you've got to work out an arrangement with the seller to get that money to come to you because it's your money. You then will make the payment on the new insurance policy that goes in. Now, like I said, you can leave the old insurance policy in place, everything will be fine, but I like to have my insurance taken care of by one person. So anyway, that's it. Just make sure that the insurance is in your name, that you're on there as additionally insured. The original mortgage holder is going to have to be on there as well because the lender demands it, and the lender demands that they personally are on there. So that's it. Hope that helps.